Greetings everyone, welcome to Proof Weight Loss Surgery Works, January 1st, 2013. Happy New Year everybody! I was so excited that Tuesdays landed on Christmas. Set aside, it landed on my birthday, but it landed on Christmas and New Year's Day. What a privilege to be able to film on such significant days. So all the best to everyone for your 2013. We have a very significant question on this great day, January 1st, 2013. Weight loss surgery goal setting. It is 4 layers to it. And it deals with goal weight, etc. So I will ask the question and answer it as quickly as possible, okay? How did you pick your goal weight? Well, I brought along a notebook that I had August 12th, 2010. I sat in my surgeon's office, and the weight that he imagined for me, the goal weight was 180 pounds. I'm 5'9" and a half, and I started at 355 pounds. And so I went away from that doctor's appointment and had a desire to be 174 pounds. I wrote on here, want to weigh 174 maximum. And that number really came from when I was on Weight Watchers. You know, you get the little booklets when you first join, and it has like ideal goal weight for your height, etc. And the maximum for 5'9" at that time, this is about 2007 or so, was 174. And I wanted to be able to weigh that. Like, seriously, I just went for it. I was like 174. And you know, when you're at the beginning of your journey and you're not even, you know, having surgery yet, and you're just so overweight and been so overweight forever, a goal number sometimes seems so impossible. And then, you know, as a side note, I wanted to be a size 10 and slim. So that's how I picked my goal weight. I wanted to weigh what the Weight Watchers book said. And then, do you have or will you set a lifetime maintenance range once hitting goal? So surgery for me, November 16, 2010. I reached goal November 29th, 2011. My original desire was to reach goal by my surgery, and it did not happen. It wasn't until 2 Tuesdays later that I reached goal. And that morning I was 173.4 or 6 or something. I have to go back and look at the picture and look at my papers. But that was the end of, or the beginning of, you know, being in maintenance. And I wasn't thinking clearly, I don't think, in terms of setting a lifetime maintenance range and then, you know, tracking back to what Weight Watchers does. You sort of have a goal, and then I had learned from those teachers that they could only gain up to 5 pounds in a month. And then they had to, you know, make sure they got that weight off. And so I knew that there was just barely any wiggle room. And then, of course, hearing Bandit Wendy here on YouTube talk about lifetime maintenance range. And so initially she was my accountability partner when I first got into maintenance, and I would send my scale shots to her and Tamika. Many of you know Tamika, Numi 1109 here on YouTube. And I didn't know where I was going. You know, it was like, I'm in maintenance and where am I going? And so 165 became this range. 165 to 175 became my lifetime maintenance range. Well, I couldn't call my own maintenance range until I got to 165. So by this time, it's, you know, January, and cut to February 16th, 2012, I got on the scale. It was a Thursday morning, and I'd finally worked my way down to 165. And so that's how I set my lifetime maintenance range. And actually the next question is, how did you or will you set your range? I am an absolute advocate for weighing, getting on the scale on a weekly basis, and setting a lifetime maintenance range. To know that you live in a 10-pound radius is like the most amazing thing. But one of the things that was also difficult for me was I was, scared initially, like, is it okay to bounce around inside this range? And so as the year went on and I matured in, the journey in maintenance and continue to mature, you learn to be okay right inside your box. And so inside my box, I also set the goal that I didn't want to weigh 170 anything. So I have been as low as 162 on a Tuesday that I record, and I have stayed out of the 170s except for one time. I think it was back in September, and I actually made a video on my channel. I got to 171. I didn't like that. It wasn't acceptable to me at that time, and so I stayed my tail away from 170 anything, even though my maintenance range is 175 on the high end. And so that is where I live. I live in this really a 5-pound box. I think it's significant that we have that sort of space as an obese person, former obese person. Everything we did was about the scale. I mean, I was at the doctor recently and I can barely get off my coat. And the nurse was like, let's get on the scale. So to pretend that we don't need to weigh ourselves and have that sort of checks and balances in our life, I think is really deception. The doctor's offices won't let you get within 2 feet of a doctor without having checked the scale. Our whole life leading up to surgery dealt with that scale. We had to be a certain BMI, which was triggered by the scale. And so I think it's appropriate. I think it's one of the best things we can do for ourselves is to weigh regularly and to track our weight and to keep an eye on it, and to have a maintenance range, a lifetime maintenance range. And then the next question is, did you set a time frame to reach your goal weight? And so I think I sort of answered that. Coming into the journey, I was like, I want to be done in a year. I wanted to reach goal by my surgiversary, and one thing led to another in terms of my behavior with food, and I didn't reach until November 29th. So I was still within a 12-month, but I didn't hit on my actual surgiversary. So I'm not going to be mad at that. But goal weight was so important to me because I'm a numbers person. I like to have sort of a start and a stop. When I crossed into maintenance on November 29th, I literally felt like one door closed and another door opened. Like I was done with the losing phase. I had recorded a goal and I reached it, and that was a wrap. I mean, no more striving and churning, trying to get to a number. I lived the number. And then I got down to 165, and I hang out right there. That's my safety zone. And so setting that goal sort of drove everything I did. I had something in sight, and that's what goals do. So when I meet people in the weight loss surgery community and they're like, oh, I didn't have a number, I just wanted to wear a certain size. My philosophy is a little different. I wanted to weigh a certain number, and I wanted to be a size 10. So now I'm in some 4s and mainly 6, and I keep, close to 165 at all times as best as I can. And that helps guide and sort of shape everything that I do each week. If my number is not where I like it, I immediately know how to fix it. And I think without a number, you can sort of get lost in translation. I don't have the capacity to say, oh, if my jeans get tight, then I'll fix the situation. Because you could be 15 pounds up and your jeans are just getting tight. So, we all have things that we're passionate about and things that make sense to us. And for me, having set a goal, weight. My surgeon had one, and I thought, I want a little different. I had a desire for a certain number, and I went for it. Like I said, I believe it helped get me there. I was after something. I was striving after something. I was on the move towards something. It was like motion, in motion. So that's how all my questions are answered this week. I think I covered them all because I did, set a time frame, etc. So anyway, I hope that it leaves you with something to think about this first week of January 2013. And if you are unfamiliar with my story, I have a YouTube channel, Grell and Be Gone. This week here actually marks 1 year anniversary for me as a part of the Proof Weight Loss Surgery Works channel. It was the first Tuesday of January 2012 that I sat right here and I answered my first question, and I appreciate all the support that has happened over the last 12 months, and I appreciate hearing that you guys have found me to be helpful. I will see you next Tuesday. Happy New Year. Bye-bye.